So now, already after the first day, we are about 20 people who have signed up to cooperate on improving our sailing tactics and strategy and on setting up our boats, be it a Dragon Force 65 or a 95 or possibly something else. Some of this will probably, for most of us, be done from an underdog perspective for quite some time, maybe years. Sometimes we don't understand exactly what the top experts say, and sometimes we find that they propose solutions that do not give us a full answer. Based on the contributions of others and my review of those suggestions, and based on my own trial and tribulations, I will be reviewing some of the advice given in different blogs and videos and refer to them on this website. It may have to do with the trimming of the boat, it may have to do with tactics, it may even have to do with strategy. And you need to tackle them all together and link the questions and answers together in order to improve. Most of this must lead to reflexes being improved so that you can really focus on the big picture while sailing. For instance, the reason why the boat doesn't go evenly in one or the other direction may have to do with the setup of the trimming of the boat, such as suggested by Klaus Harris. It can also have to do with waves and wind, drift, shifts in the conditions, even objects such as other boats. So, sailing is, of course, a compromise between different forces, lift and drag, and the real sailors, of course, find the best possible compromises in every situation. So, then there is another problem, and that is that the language used by the experts. For most of us who haven't sailed all the time since our youth, may not be familiar, particularly not in English for Swedish speakers or other native languages. So there is a need to link up and explain some of the terms, and there are good explanations available, but you need to find it. You also have to meet the challenge of acquiring the equipment, the small gadgets that you need to, in a more effective and simple way, maintain your boat and trim it. This also takes its time, and you need to find out from where to get these different things. As for the structure of the website and its content, it should first be said that there will be nothing more or less on the website which will not be publicly available. What will not be publicly available is the system as a whole, which is based on the combination of 2 or 3 innovative types of software, which I have been working with for some time. And one of them is Prezi, which is a further developed type of PowerPoint presentation software, which is not linear in the sense that it has a number of separate images which are not related to others such as in PowerPoint. Everything is part of one big picture, where you can zoom in and zoom out as you like. This is very important in order to see the whole picture and to be able to connect the dots between different problems. But that, again, is not enough in order to really effectively come to advice that you need in a particular situation. The other software that I'm going to use is called the Brain, which has been developed over a decade or so, and which seeks to connect the dots exactly and create a structure of thinking which cannot be represented in one single picture. You may, for instance, ask yourself, what is a bow seam? How does it look? How do you use it? And where are they on the boat, on the different parts of the boat? And where do they need to be in order to make effective trimming possible? This you need to explain in different ways, maybe in a series of questions and answers linked together through a tag, for instance, and that's exactly what you can do in a brain. A brain is also good in order to ask a successive series of questions. So I do this, does it solve the problem? No, where do I go next? So for this you use the brain software. There will also be one dedicated YouTube channel for these videos that I could produce myself, reviewing the efforts of others and recounting problems that I have met or experiences that I have made. It already fascinates me how I moved from not only being a passive spectator or unengaged spectator to finding it fascinating to watch races on YouTube with intense engagement. I now see so much more in all of this than I did before. I'm greatly encouraged by the fact that you can even do the sport from a wheelchair. For someone who's over 70, such as myself, this is a very comforting perspective, since I've had to give up big boat sailing already 10 years ago due to operation on my hands. I note that in Sweden alone, about 10% of the population sing in choir, in different choirs. This is already something extremely important for people to feel part of a bigger group when they have reached retirement age and being able to do something together. I'm pretty sure that radio sailing could become a really big sport, but in order to do that, people need to easier come over the threshold. Well, finally, I've already got reactions from 1 or 2 people saying that all this is already available on the internet. Yes, but it's not available in one place, and that's what I'm trying to achieve here. Thank you for listening.